Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. I got a bunch of stuff to talk about in this video. I'm kind of like, what do I make the title of this video? And as I'm recording, I'm actually not sure yet. So I hope I do an okay job there. I guess the first piece I'll cover, though, it comes from CoinDesk. It's titled Ripple's Revamped Xpring Platform Looks to Boost XRP Development. Beyond that, I've got a couple tweets on this from Ethan Beard also. One of them's from Ethan Beard after this piece. He's the guy running Xpring, and I got another tweet on the topic from an XRP community member. Want to give you an update also on MoneyGram CEO Alex Holmes' interview on CNN, and we're hoping that Julia Chatterley, who will be interviewing Alex Holmes, will say something about Ripple and XRP. It's such a big development from this summer. I can't imagine that not coming up. If it doesn't, that's a pure travesty. So it better. But she was accepting questions from viewers. 1 or 2 days ago, I reported on it, and so there are XRP community members that were sending some stuff out. So I'm hoping something gets through, and she asks something related to that. I want to talk a little bit about the market psychology chart. Do you know what I'm talking about? If not, don't worry. I'm going to show you. Somebody's wondering about its origins. And the last thing that I'll cover in this video is a piece from CoinDesk. SEC taking measured approach to digital asset regulation. Jay Clayton tells Senate committee. Now, I made a video about most of what I wanted to talk about yesterday, so there's a few other tidbits definitely worth mentioning, but since I already made an entire video about the parts that I thought were like really mostly the meat of it, I'm going to hang on to this piece until the end of the video, just so that you know, and would love if you stuck around, but if you feel like you got everything you needed out of the whole SEC thing, I understand if you want to tap away to some other Moon Lambo video, right? Not a... No, I appreciate you stopping by. I'm just teasing. But before I go any further, if you would please delicately tap that like button. And if you are a fan of Ripple and XRP, go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel so that your life will be complete. All right, I got this first piece from XRP Crypto Wolf. Thank you very much, good sir. You are like a fountain of information. I very much appreciate it. By the way, he's going to be starting his own YouTube channel soon. I've been direct messaging with him a little bit about that. I don't know exactly when, but it's coming here. So anyway, Ripple has condensed its broad Xpring developer platform into a single site. The new platform aims to allow crypto and non-crypto developers to integrate payments into any mobile application. Now, Xpring.io offers those developers a wallet, new tools, technical documentation, and Xpring customer service. The new platform was announced in October, though the company needed 2 months to build features which allows users to have an account associated with the platform, said Ethan Beard, Senior Vice President of Xpring. And look, there is no other company in the world of blockchain doing anything remotely like this. It's just like that's one of the reasons I felt like I wanted to start this YouTube channel. It's just like I could see something that to me is just so obvious that utility matters as it pertains to cryptocurrencies. Most people don't get it, and there's no real world utility other than what is XRP's being positioned to be utilized for. And so I see all of this stuff, and I see the ecosystem getting built around it. And I'm like, people, be aware of this. I'm trying to at least spread the word so that people can do their own research. Since I don't offer financial advice, but damn. Anyway, so here's a quote now from Ethan Beard. That will be the central hub for developers to manage everything they need when it comes to integrating payments into their apps. And then the article continues, Xpring claims that the platform's software development kit, SDK, takes 100 lines of code and condenses it to 21 lines. The platform is a new vertical for Xpring, which has acted as an investment arm for Ripple for more than a year. I think it's been about a year and a half now, isn't it? With the goal of building a network of companies and use cases around XRP. Again, real-world utility. There you go. The initiative is aimed at investing in and growing a developer base around the cryptocurrency, which is broadly true. Of course, they also invest in projects that would benefit ILP because ILP will benefit XRP. That's their whole. That's the theory there that Ripple holds, and I think they're accurate on that. And they also think that it would be wise to ensure that there's growth for the entire asset class, not just XRP. And so they develop in projects, some that don't seem to have a lot of relation, but if it could, lift up everybody, there you go. And as David Schwartz, CTO of Ripple, co-creator of the XRP Ledger, said, I'm going to have to paraphrase here, But you don't lift up your project by tearing down others. And I'm paraphrasing there, but that's effectively the message that he stated very recently. I think it was might have been around Swell about a month ago when he stated that. Anyway, with the wallet, which is currently available on XRP testnet, developers can generate and manage account credentials, view balances, send and receive cryptocurrency, and monitor transaction history. Developers can also expect to see future new Xpring platform functions launched on the wallet in the future, Beard said. And here's a quote from him before I move on. Before it was quite complicated. It was done through command line and piecing together a variety of different tools, Beard said. There's a reason why people keep a lot of their cryptocurrency inside hosted wallets on exchanges, because all of that is obfuscated. Which I think is a pretty fair point there. I'll tell you, though, just outside of that, I'm not going to get into it, but too many people, I believe, are leaving far too much on exchanges. Because not everybody's being a trader. They're just using that as actual storage. Not exactly wise. All right, and here's a tweet from Brian Kerr, and it's about Ethan Beard here. There's a little screen grab. You can see Ethan Beard on the screen, and he's giving a little talk there. And so what Brian Kerr wrote is, Ethan Beard from Ripple revealed XRP handles 50% plus of global crypto transaction volume. That's some serious settlement utility. That's a lot of action on the ledger, is it not? I just thought I'd highlight that. Next, here's a tweet from Barry Curley, who tagged me along with a number of other XRP community members. So I want to give a shout out to you, Barry. Thank you very much for including me in this. And so I wanted to share your tweet with everybody. And you wrote, if Ripple is leading the way towards changing the financial plumbing, Xpring is creating the tools to help a new generation of digital plumbers. And I think that's quite aptly put. Well said, good sir. And I share the sentiment. Obviously, the very real, very intense ecosystem is getting built around XRP. Very cool stuff. All right, here's a tweet from Lord Lionel. And he wrote, I'll read it was a retweet of MoneyGram tweets. Let me read the MoneyGram one first and then what Lord Lionel wrote. So MoneyGram tweeted this out about 35 minutes ago. Of course, from your perspective, I don't know when you're listening to this, so that may not mean much. But anyway, he tweeted that out today, December 11th. Our CEO, Alex Holmes, behind the scenes at CNN filming for First Move with Julia Chatterley. Be on the lookout for the segment to air next week. Hashtag FinTech, hashtag digital transformation. And so they've got these pictures associated right here. Here's one. That's CEO Alex Holmes getting all prepped up there. And you can tell somebody's legit when they got one of these little like handkerchiefs in their pocket in the front of their suit. Like that's a legit businessman right there. That is exactly how you know that. All right, and then you got a little screenshot of Julia Chatterley there, and then another shot of Alex Holmes. So anyway, Lord Lionel tweeted out, XRP community, damn, it's not being released till next week. Has Julia Chatterley been forced to sign an NDA? I wonder. This was due out today. And indeed, I mentioned this the other day, and I assumed that this story was going to be the segment would be on television today, but it's not the case. So I thought I'd just give you an update on that. It is coming, and I will most certainly be covering whatever occurs here, especially if it has to do with Ripple and XRP. So there you go. All right, next, here's a tweet from Tweedsley. Let me go ahead and scroll up first, because it was in response to Sid Vicious here. And he was just making a point about chart similarities between 2016 to 2019. So Tweedsley responded to that and wrote, I learned about this chart from Moon Lambo, but I don't know where he found it. It's the only chart of any meaningful information, in my opinion. And so I wanted to highlight this, and for those of you that are, I'm sure many of you have seen this, so I'll be real brief with this, but it's Wall Street cheat sheet, and it just shows how market cycles go, because humans are emotional creatures, and you can see, as it pertains to buying and selling in pretty much any asset class, a lot of it's emotion-based, especially the stock market and most certainly crypto. But with crypto, it's like emotional buying and selling on steroids, which can create opportunities for those people that understand this is just how speculative humans behave. right? If you have an investment thesis like mine, which is that utility matters, and you see that a bunch of people just sold because they don't know what the hell they're doing, what are you going to do? Now, that's not financial advice. I don't have a financial background, but I am happy to share my sentiment that, given that this is how I firmly believe humans operate, it's been demonstrated in the real world, not just in crypto, but time and time again demonstrated. I'm happy to do my best to buy when there's blood in the streets, buy other people's fear. I like phrasing it that way now. I got that from DIY investing. You're buying other people's fear when it's going down. So this is the whole thing. And so they got like a mock chart here of it going up and then down, and then along the way how there's disbelief at the bottom, then there's hope, it's rising, there's optimism, there's belief, and then it keeps going higher, there's thrill, and then at the height of it all there's euphoria, but then on the way down there's complacency, then there's anxiety, then there's denial, but then there's panic, and then there's depression, and then the cycle repeats. And there you go. And so I off the top of my head, I think I used to know the origins, but I didn't know off the top of my head. But I will say this. Who said it? Somebody down here stated that it was... Here we go. Somebody named Carlos responded, "This is a copy of the NASDAQ chart during the dot-com bubble. I think," in parentheses right here, it's hope, "we're in the disbelief phase on the left, not on the right side anymore." And so I think that's probably the case there. So, but this does repeat, and that's just, I do want people to be aware of this, and I'm not telling you to buy or sell or hold at all, period, but I think it is absolutely worth understanding how humans are behaving here. All right, next I got this story from XRP Crypto Wolf. It's the piece that I'm going to wrap up the video with from CoinDesk. It's titled "SEC Taking Measured Approach to Digital Asset Regulation, Jay Clayton Tells Senate Committee." All right, the chairman of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, Jay Clayton, says his agency is taking a measured regulatory stance on promising blockchain tech. Right, giving testimony on the oversight of his agency before the Senate Committee on Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs on Tuesday, Clayton honed in on its regulation of the crypto and blockchain space, saying the SEC has been dedicating a significant amount of attention and resources on digital assets. And here's a quote from Jay Clayton. "Overall, I believe we have taken a measured yet proactive regulatory approach that both fosters innovation and capital formation while protecting our investors and our markets." Clayton also spelled out, how it's been enforcing securities rules on digital asset firms that stray over the line. And take this out. Take this out. Yeah, take it out. Just right outside. Okay, check this out. And this is a quote. This from Jay Clayton. "This past year, the Commission has brought actions against a number of issuers of digital assets for allegedly engaging in fraud and for violating the registration provisions of the federal securities law," he said. The Commission also filed charges related to the unlawful promotion of initial coin offerings, that's ICOs, and the unlawful operation of a digital asset trading platform. And so, to Mr. Bitcoin Maxi out there listening, if you're there, and you know who you are if you're listening, and you're still welcome here, I love you too. But if you are listening and you have the take on this that XRP is a security, I want to know why. Why is it that the SEC shut down the digital asset trading platform? They're shutting down ICOs. They've done everything they can to maintain a reasonable level of vigilance over the regulation of this entire asset class. Yet, XRP, one of the most well-known cryptocurrencies, it just keeps on skating by. Mr. Bitcoin Maxi, what you say to that? You won't make no damn sense. But anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for stopping by. You're a cool person, especially if you stuck to the end. You're extra cool now. I'm not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!